It is a world of darkness. The sin of Cain has spawned the cursed horror that stalks the night in search of living blood. The kindred have long been a secret influence through all ages of human history, plotting against each other in a never-ending jihad. Their immortal progeny are among us to this day, hidden from the eyes of humanity by an elaborate masquerade.
Burn it at both ends. I like the fire causing mayhem. I'm not tired, I've been waiting. I'm not forsaken. I'm my own and I'm jaded. Energy comes from my hatred. Call me the villain, cause I be killing. I got no feeling, I've been dealing with all my demons. I like to feed them, they be chilling. Yeah, they be screaming. I can hear them in my mind. They just wanna find any fight, any reason.
Dark side, there ain't no place to hide. All your fears are electrified. Welcome to the hard side, where it's all do or die. We're the shadow to the light. I can feel it in my bones. Yeah, I'm addicted to the thirst. I ain't never let it go, even when it hurts. This is my curse.
Have to be working to deserve it. Adrenaline is surging, ain't no serving. I'm the king, bring me everything that I've ever wanted, that I need. I believe I could be anything, watch me. Give me a second to blow, give me a second to grow. Be at the top of the show, be at the top like a pro. I flip the switch, different mode. throat. No, they ain't laughing, no joke, cause I attack when they won't.
Welcome to the dark side, there ain't no place to hide. All your fears are electrified. Welcome to the hard side, where it's all do or die. We're the shadow to the light, I can feel it in my bones. I'm addicted to the thirst, I ain't never letting go, even when it hurts. This is my curse.
My nemesis or bane or whatever addiction.
Oh my gosh. I need to stop. I like have so many of these rugs that I'm like, I'm gonna buy them all.
All right, and that is the comment that we intro into. Our vampires today are buying rugs.
Hey,
that is going to make for
very
riveting
important.
games.
And air fryers.
Handy
Air
for their
fryers.
bodies then. Saying.
So the only
I'm
vampire that could
rugs
really
vegan.
capitalize on a rug and an air fryer would be the Nagaraja, and I don't think any of you want that in the game.
No. No thanks.
And the people who know are just immediately no.
Yeah, we can do without.
Yeah.
And for those
That
of you who,
combination just doesn't sound great.
yeah, for those of you who don't know, the Nagaraja practice necromancy, but their feeding flaw, is they actually have to consume their prey.
Oh, gross. Can we not?
Nom, nom, nom. Finger foods.
Jeez.
So a quick
And their literal fingers.
So while keeping on topic of foods, but a quick trivia tidbit: if you go to Twitter and you look up the official KFC account, they are following 11 people exactly. That's all they're following. A few of those people are all named Herb, and then the rest of them are the Spice Girls pages. So KFC is officially
11.
following 11 herbs and spices.
I love the fact that they did that. I love it when companies do social media things that are like awesome.
Yeah.
But the only way you would know is if you went and looked, yeah, or somebody told you. So that's like that's a joke you have to dig deep for. But I like it.
True. Whoever runs the Wendy's social media page is like a troll.
Oh,
like
yeah.
hardcore.
I was
They
going to say
troll.
Wendy's. That's good stuff.
Yep.
They're hilarious.
I love the sign wars.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So does somebody want to give us a quick recap?
Not it. Because I need one too.
Let's see.
Ditto. Dale.
Trying to see if I took good enough notes.
Yeah, because I don't think I did.
Okay. What I've got here is that we all met per the Baron's request at the Red Briar in order to have our gathering to figure out what was going to happen, because we're still missing Shannon, and we're still trying to fix the masquerade breach.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I
And
scryed on Shannon. All I can tell is that she was chained up in a basement.
right. So we've got that.
We got Mr. V with his kitty cat.
Yeah. Mr. V has been doing things at Forfeit here, and we've been trying to figure that out. Let's see here. And also at Game, there's a conversation over the phone between specifically Trish and Isadora, in order to actually get Lily's face flesh crafted differently, along with her ghoul.
Yes.
And that is costing Trish and Lily each a minor boon from Isadora.
I forgot about that.
I did not.
Jerome remembers all boons.
You scare me.
Oh, I don't just remember them. You have Brittany to thank for keeping a running total now.
Yeah,
jeez.
exactly. That's the main stuff that I have on here. Oh, we learned from Revis that Roxy is the one who's controlling the Southside Souls gang.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she wanted to hang.
And she wanted to hang.
I wrote here there's 2 bodies found, but I don't know to
So,
what
yeah,
that
we-
it was in relations to.
We still have not investigated that second body.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
there was
two.
the first
one
Oh,
was the, one
ones
that. Yeah,
we've
one
gotta
was the one that
hide.
Lily ate,
Okay.
and the other one is the one that she's being blamed for.
Yes.
So,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we got a decoy that's going to be looking like Lily and sent down to California.
Right.
Make it their problem.
Yeah, exactly.
so now that we kind of have an understanding of where we're picking up from, Ben, you're probably going to be the one to call the Anarchs back together again tonight to discuss any updates, because I know you've got a few.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and send out a text via the group chat. We'll meet at the Dragonflugel.
Okay.
And I'll also text specifically Trudy to make sure that that's okay that we meet up there.
Sure. Okay. While you're doing that, we get to find out what Lily looks like now. So Lily, as we are picking up, you are at the Haven of Paladin. Copious amounts of estrogen and testosterone floating around the building. You've actually never been in here before. It
Right.
is it's as overt and pretentious as any rock star's house might be. With like, but it's all. I mean, it's all like, because it's a Toreador. Ultimately behind it, none of it is cheap, but it's eclectic. Like for and this hasn't been talked about in many games, but she has like a lot of nice things that decorate the house, most of which probably sticks with the same motif that Paladin the band has. However, you'll spot some randomness in that, like she might have a really nice beat up looking old world map, which doesn't exactly fit with what they're doing. Another one of the oddities that actually hasn't been talked about in a long time is there in a glass case, there are what appears to be some gold plates.
Gold plates.
Yeah, gold
Okay.
plates, not as in like something you would scoop food off of, but plates as in like square, rectangular, probably has something chiseled on it.
Can I see what's chiseled on it?
You sure can. It's not in English, but you can.
What
Because
language is it in?
it's kind of set up almost like a book.
Is it like in Latin or
No.
Aramaic? Okay, then yeah, I can't read
It does look Middle Eastern-ish.
Okay.
Is it the golden plates?
Good guess.
No, you get. Oh, come on. Brittany, you got what I just said, right? Okay, thank you. At least somebody got it.
Well, no, Brittany encountered them a long time ago.
Yeah, fun fact. Yeah, that was like way a long time ago.
That was
Yeah,
actually before we started streaming. In fact, that was season 1.
It was
Yeah. Lily will mention that they're spectacular.
But I'm just kind of giving you the layout. What they end up doing is they take you down in the basement for the quote unquote work. This is where they have their studio set up, and there's like an entire editing bay. There's a couple of house instruments set up downstairs, a soundproof room and everything. And this is, of course, so nobody can hear you scream. Because the fun fact of flesh crafting is that it is in essence aggravated damage when you're doing it to other individuals. So that is something that you are having to deal with. But by the time you get done, well, I should say, not that you're done. The time Isadora is finally done when she's happy with her work, which probably makes it take a little bit longer than it needs to, because she's a perfectionist. Toreadors with vicissitude probably are. Either that or they're very sadistic. So when she is done, she holds up a mirror. And that is what Lily looks like now.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Okay.
with red hair, huh? Guess I wore the wrong wig.
No, you didn't know.
Yeah.
You can go change.
Brittany's just like, eh.
Wow.
So you obviously don't look 18 anymore. You look
Right.
somewhere in the later stages of college.
So what's my parents' rating?
Same as it was before.
Okay.
I approve of the red hair color. Just saying. Good choice.
I concur.
Well, that is my natural hair color, so yeah.
Awesome. All right.
So when that is all done, she slaps a small little folder onto your chest, just sort of thing, and she says, "This is for you. When your mother ghoul, whatever the hell thing she is to you, is available, you'll need to send her over post haste. Now go."
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
She'll
Just
she'll
another
be
day.
here. She'll be here tomorrow if that's okay.
That will be fine, so long as it's the evening. The rest of the group obviously can't. Well, no. Painwise might like her visiting earlier. Do send her over in the morning.
I have a question.
Your question is out of character.
Yes, I have an out of character question.
I know.
What is the state of dress while she's there?
Oh, Isadora?
In the household in general.
Oh, okay. This is more of a Sophie out of character question.
No, this is a Brittany has experienced this household and it's fishing for the general public to be
Sure,
aware.
that's fine. So Isadora was dressed in a sheer black gown with nothing underneath. Painwise, the rather large guitar player / werewolf of the group, frequently wanders around with, if he's dressed with a loincloth.
My poor ghoul.
Oubliette, she's a little bit more conservative, tends to dress more like the rocker lifestyle, as does Bello. And Sophie, and he's a drummer. And Sophie, if she shows up, dresses not quite like Sophie. This band tends to have the more dark Sophie effect on Sophie when she shows up, so if that helps for visual references.
Okay. Well, I'll be right back.
Okay.
If you're done with me, I'll be right back.
Yes. Okay. Oh, she's gonna go change. Okay, so the rest of you, show up to the Drachenflugel. You already know what the club looks like as you show up. The bouncers are starting to get used to the fact that some of you are showing up, so they're not like flagging you for ID. They're just waving you in, making you look like you're more important than you really are, to the consternation of the people outside waiting to get in. So as you guys go past them, they're always like, ah. But you're led to the back. They've pretty much left the meeting room that you all are using for the time being just as is, sort of thing. All they do is really clean it. And they will keep somebody on staff just outside the door in case you, servant-wise, in case you need anything. There's security that watches it.
Can Dover be with me? Or is this a no Dover kind of situation?
Since you brought him in last time, they have asked that you not bring Dozer back in.
Whatever. Look, he has both names and they're interchangeable. Leave it alone. I can't seem to remember which is which. I love my dog very much. His name doesn't matter. It's Dog.
It just got
Dozer.
it's got like a nameplate on the back of his collar, and just keeps scratching off the V and the Z.
Just call him Dodger.
I don't know who keeps doing that. Okay.
Give him a different variation every time you say it.
Okay, so Dozer is not there.
Yeah, think Ghostbusters, like Gozer the Gozerian, Dozer.
Okay. For some reason, it makes me think of Paw Patrol. I don't know why.
Don't know.
Yeah.
There's a bulldozer dog, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, there
okay.
you go.
Gotcha. So Ben, take it away.
Yeah. So he comes in, makes sure everybody's, or at least most everybody's there, realizing that Lily isn't there for obvious reasons. He's like, "Hey, everybody. All right. So things to go over to make sure that we're all on the same page, because I know we've been through a lot the past few nights. Lily should be here relatively soon. Tonight's the night she's going to get her face changed. So if somebody new comes in with her voice, you know who that is. Beyond that, though, we're still on the lookout for my ghoul, Shannon. We have some leads. Of course, Flames managed to find her with her scrying in that room, but it's warded like the last time we experienced something like that, so we don't know the exact location, but she's been roughed up. That's just great. Beyond that, though, Mr. Vidius, the Nosferatu I'm in contact with, he's gotten some info. We managed to give him a shirt of Shannon's so that his animals can use the scent to track her better. They did actually find her car parked in a location, and it looks like she was taken from it and moved somewhere else. So they're picking up the scent as we speak. They should probably get some back with him within the next night or two, hopefully, depending on how fast they're working. Beyond that, not a lot of other leads, but I did get some info from Mr. V, and he has the idea that the U.S. Marshals, the ones that are in town right now with their weird powers and their implants in their bodies or whatever, seems like there's a similar group in Japan. Like they can do different stuff, but it's similar. So he's got that info, and he knows that there's some weird connection there. Not sure if it's like the same agency or different ones in different countries or what. But if that means anything to anybody, let me know. Nobody here happens to have ties to Japan, do they?
Definitely not.
Yes, I do.
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't expect that, but yeah, so there's that to go off of. So not sure what that's about exactly, but keep your eyes peeled in case we meet up or talk to the marshals again. Beyond that, anybody else have anything to report? No, it hasn't been a long time, but things happen fast in Ashland.
No.
Nothing going. Well, I take back what I said about things happening fast in Ashland then.
Hey, it's kind of nice nothing's really happened lately.
Yeah, now you're gonna knock on wood though. Probably not the one that's gonna get staked with
And
a.
maybe we shouldn't borrow trouble.
Jerome, let me know when I could arrive.
Almost there.
That's a good point. Yeah, just anyway, yeah, so right now we're just on the hunt for Shannon. Doesn't seem like anything else is happening. Haven't gotten any other reports back regarding the decoy for Lily that we sent to California. Hopefully that's going all right. I know that Revis has been in charge of that, but he's headed to the Caribbean. I don't know if anybody's got that text. Hopefully he'll be back soon.
I was going to ask about him.
Oh,
Do you have
yeah?
any idea why he went to the Caribbean?
Sounds like clan business.
Probably.
Okay.
Hey, Damaris.
Yes.
With that comment, why don't you give me a wits and Sabat lore check?
Wits and Sabat lore. 4 and 2. Okay, so 6. I'm just gonna roll it in the Discord. Second. Ashland. Okay. So it's 60, 10. Oh, I didn't maybe do that right.
/R, not roll.
Okay. Having issues. All right, so 60, 10. Here we go. 1, 2.
2. Okay.
Oh, well, 10s explode, so 3.
Do 10s explode because do you have a 4 in your wits?
In my wits.
Ooh, nice. Okay,
Sure
so
do.
yes. So the moment he says that, Robbie the robot appears in your mind to say, "Danger, Will Robinson, danger." No Setite would go to the Caribbean, and you know why? That's Serpent of the Light territory.
Oh.
That's the Sabat variant of the Setites, and they hate them with a passion.
Okay. Yeah, I can tell you guys for a fact that he's not going to the Caribbean for clan. No
Why is that?
Setite would go to the Caribbean for that. So sorry, Jerome, I need to reiterate. So it was that basically that's the Sabat territory.
It's not only is nominally Sabat, but it's predominantly Serpent of the Light, which is the Sabat version of the Setites.
Serpent of the Light.
They don't get along.
No,
Yeah,
not at all.
yeah, no. This so in that area, it's so it's basically the area for the Serpents of the Light, which is basically the Sabat version of the Setites.
Really?
Is he?
Yes.
Is he one of those?
If he's going to there, then it's very likely.
Great. That's great.
You think you know a guy?
Yeah. So,
Do we think he actually went to the Caribbean, or do we think that he was lying and said he was going to the Caribbean but went somewhere else?
Well, I can search, find out.
Let's do it.
You know what? Yeah. Go ahead and invade his privacy real quick, would you?
He has a tendency to unstate things that need to be staked.
Well,
so I don't feel all that bad about
Yeah,
invading
that's
his
true.
privacy.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna, I'll scry on him.
I'll be right back.
Besides, I mean, this is basically just like a check-in phone call. It's fine.
Back in the day when dial-up was the only thing around, you could call the operator for an emergency
1,
breakthrough.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Exactly.
5. Okay, so zoom, enhance. You kind of break out your water on the spot, pull out your bowl to start stirring your concoction, and giving your magic voodoo sort of routine that you normally do for this. And you start getting a connection immediately. So there's clearly no power or anything interfering. And when you first zoom in, you've never actually been here before, so the buildings don't look like you're used to seeing. The architecture here is very different, almost quasi-French-like in a sense. But he is, at this very moment, currently in a restaurant.
Okay. Can I tell where he is? Is there anything
So you're going to
written
pull out?
on? Yeah, pull out a little bit
Sure.
and just kind of see if I can find a city on a map or.
Absolutely. So when you pull out and you look around, you've never actually been here before, but it's been on TV enough that it's you're reasonably certain he's in New Orleans. And he, the restaurant he's in is called the Unsteak.
Okay.
And he just seems to be waiting at this point in time.
Okay. Do I know if New Orleans is a hotspot for Sabbat or
It's Camarilla domain.
Camarilla?
Oh, it's very well known to be a Camarilla domain.
Okay, sorry, I couldn't
Yep.
remember. Cam.
Yeah, Benjamin's from there.
Yep, exactly.
Sure enough.
So he's just sitting in a cafe
Restaurant.
called the Unsteak, or sorry, restaurant. Oops. And he seems to be waiting for someone.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Does he seem to be just looking around, searching for someone? Is his eyes doing that whole shifty move thing?
On the swivel.
Exactly.
I mean, when you zoom back in and just he is keeping an eye on the room, but you're lacking a lot of detail as to what's going on here. So he just seems to be people watching for the most part.
Okay. So he seems to be sitting in a restaurant in New Orleans, place called the Unsteak.
That dirty little liar.
And yeah, but I mean, New Orleans is a Camarilla territory, predominant.
So
Yes, it is.
why would he mislead us like that?
Because he's a Zeddite.
He's kind of shifty.
But
Like, I don't know if you've noticed.
For what purpose would he mislead us like that?
I don't know.
Curious.
But I mean, it seems to be. I don't know. I mean, did anybody ever ask him what he was or what his purpose here was? I mean, at any point?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we know generally that he's here somewhat on orders from his elders, apparently in the clan, regarding Sedite stuff that happened in Ashland years back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did anybody, I don't know, aura percept him at the time he was telling us that, just to see if there was any sort of lie potentially in there?
I don't have that ability, and he was talking to me and Ben.
I've got to get used to doing that more often.
Yeah.
Really.
I think that ought to be standard practice,
Okay. Yeah, I would agree.
especially not to speak ill of our compatriot, but as Ashland gains more public awareness in the kindred world, we're going to get people from all over the place wanting to come here and check it out. So
Yeah.
there's no telling who we might be getting into town.
That's a good point. Yeah. All right. Make that known then, everybody. Make sure if you have that ability, you can see auras whenever there's somebody new, even if nobody asks you to do it. Check them out. See if they're lying. All that jazz. I've got to do that myself.
And if you don't have that ability, maybe
Just
talk
gonna
to your
say.
friends and see if someone
Learn it.
can teach it to you.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Okay. So right now we don't know if Rivas is, well, we know where he's at now, but he says he was on his way to the Caribbean. Is that just to, I don't know, just to
Just most
throw
likely
you
just
off?
so that nobody knows where he is.
He does tend to do things that make sure it throws others off the trail. Any meetings he has with people that are important, he makes sure it's in different locations. But he does try to keep in touch with Sophie and me as often as possible. Granted, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. So
Well, he seems to be waiting for someone in this restaurant.
Okay.
So I think maybe I can watch him a bit longer and see if someone else shows up potentially, because I think this is a an establishment that caters to our kind.
Well, with a
The
name like
name didn't,
Steak.
yeah, the name didn't clue us in already. I'm just
Right.
saying, like, this is a notable spot for even us to keep aware of.
Okay. Speaking of notable spots, I know this has been mostly Sophie's thing. She's the Baron after all, but anybody have any leads or ideas on other places where we can hold meetings other than just hanging out at the Dragonflugel? I know we're trying to avoid Anzio's pretty much forever now, but
Maybe
here in the train
emergency type.
station,
Yeah.
I have a number of businesses around town. Obviously, I'm not looking to draw attention to any of them, but we could probably work something out. There's the cannery downtown. It's kind of a conglomeration of businesses, but we could meet in some of the back rooms inside, or one of the unleased storefronts, perhaps. I've also got, if we're looking for someplace a little bit outside of town, I have Malcolm and I purchased a lodge, like a little outdoorsy hotel space just south of town. But that's a little far to be convenient for a meeting spot, but it's
yeah. I mean, ideally, if we can get several places, because we don't want to go to the same place every single time. We got to rotate pretty much every time, I think, just to keep anybody else on their toes and off our trail. If we can have locations that aren't just filled to the brim with people, but it doesn't take an hour to drive there and an hour to drive back.
Sure. I can find a spot in the cannery where we can meet without too many eyes.
That'd be great. Yeah, once you get that set up, shoot the Baron and me a text. That way we've got info. And if there's anybody there, that would be expecting us, it'd be nice if, they were clued in so that we don't have issues when we go there.
Trudy will pull out her phone and do some talk to text to Seth and say,
Okay.
Looking to make a meeting spot for the Anarchs down at the cannery, maybe one of the unleased storefronts somewhere without too much public access. See what you can find.
Okay, so he sends a text back. Yes, ma'am. I'll have Xandria look into that as soon as possible.
All right. Good deal. So we've got that in the works. Now we know that the snake is a snake. Not a big shocker, but, So we'll have to talk to him when he gets back, if he does. Right. Anybody else notice anything suspicious? Anything else going on around town? Anything you want to bring up? Any new people that I should be knowing about, but I'm terrible at my job, apparently, so I never know ahead of time.
Actually, right as he says that, you hear Trisha's phone go off, and it says, "Manamana, manamana,
She bounces a little bit as she's pulling it out of her pocket. She flips it open. What is it?
It is a text message.
She opens text.
Yep. Text message is from oh shoot. It's from Roxy.
Oh. Okay.
It's an address.
I'm going to text her back and say, "Thank you for the random address. I will send you a random picture of flowers."
Okay, so she sends a question mark back. "This is to the party, goof."
Oh, is that? Okay, she texts back. Is that tonight?
And she, capital letters, yes.
Oh, fudge buckets. Okay, guys. Roxy, the get together that she wanted to do. Apparently, that's tonight. And she just sent me the address. Did we want to go?
And
I mean, I
at this
probably
point,
need
Lily
to go.
shows up.
You have
Hey
a
there.
cinematic moment. You open the door. Da, 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 da.
Hair blowing in the wind that's there for no reason.
Or she just
Uh-huh.
randomly spins like Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, hot damn! Look at you.
Yeah. Red hair.
Keep
You
in mind,
like
she
it?
doesn't look a thing like she did before.
Oh wait, do we not know it's her though?
Yeah.
So we don't know it's her.
Correct.
But don't we? I thought we were expecting her though.
You
'Cause
are.
Ben had said she was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who do we have here?
Persephone, thanks to Isadora. Paga something.
Papadopoulos.
Yeah, I'm never going to remember that or
I will.
pronounce it.
You're Greek now?
I feel bad for your name, but I'm going to aura percept her to make sure she's telling the truth.
Yeah, same here. Yep. Learn that lesson.
Redhead with Lily's voice.
You're,
I don't know. Your vocal cords might have changed too. I don't know. It's,
You're a friend of Miss Isadora?
Go ahead. Go ahead and roll.
What is it?
Perception and empathy.
I don't know if we're friends.
Empathy. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, one of those kind of friends.
It's a good roll to start off with. 8
Well,
successes.
Thanks
Very
to
nice.
Trish.
Whoa.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Jeez.
Man. Right when we need to aura percept the wrong person, probably. Yeah.
But we're super sure, and now we're going to be confident when we shouldn't be in the future.
You know what's interesting? I'm looking at the aura colors chart for V20, and they actually took lying out of there.
Lying
Really? Why
Yeah.
would they do that?
is deceptive in there.
There's
No.
like suspicious in there, I think. But
Yeah, there is suspicious. Yeah.
Wow.
But that's like if you were feeling suspicious of someone else, that would
Potentially,
show
yeah. Yeah, yeah. There's
Yeah.
also distrustful, which could be you're distrustful of something.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't believe they're lying out. That's
Lying is
like number one thing that
Put
you
it back
need.
in.
That is, yes, that's exactly
I know,
why you
it's
used
like-
it.
Are
Let's
you
just
are
pick
you
a color.
putting it
That's
back
one
in?
for Lane.
So she seems to be calm, which is light blue.
Is she calm? Would she actually be calm?
Yeah.
In a goth establishment with their friends, probably.
And
That she's not sure how it's going to go
so
over.
she is light blue, which is calm, and also blue, which is love struck.
She's gonna walk over and plant a big kiss on Ben.
Yep, it's her. How's it going, babe?
Well, what do you think?
You look nice.
Looking beautiful as ever. Doesn't really matter what you change into.
Thank you.
Oh.
Aw.
That is
That's
so
cute.
sweet. Such a lie, but so
So
sweet.
sickeningly sweet. She has this weird look on her face. Just
She's just gonna settle into Ben's lap and stay there.
It's
Well.
definitely a change.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's
And
what we need.
you guys need to remember that when we are out with others, that I am Persephone.
Papadopoulos.
Yes.
We'll just stick with
I
I
persistence.
think she had fun with
then.
that last name.
Yeah,
Your initials are PP.
Your
Isidore's me.
your friend Isadora has quite the sense of humor.
Yeah, no kidding. I could tell with that last name.
It does indeed.
Well, so Trish, that Roxy shindig, is
Yeah.
that for everyone or is that just you?
No, I'm pretty sure it's for everybody.
What sort of party is this?
It
And
was just,
who's this Roxy person?
well, I met Roxy at the market. That when we sold the big shiny rock. Um,
Yeah.
and she ended up being the head of the which group was it? Something Saints.
The
Southside
Southside
Souls.
Souls. Yeah.
Them. Oh, yep. That. Nope. No, I wasn't even close. So she's the head of the Southside Souls, and
Oh, it started with S.
it was close enough. Um, and we just kind of clicked, and we're kind of sort of friends. And she invited me to this thing.
Isn't that the one that Revis went and checked out? And speaking of Revis, where is he?
Yeah,
Apparently,
he's
he's
Yeah.
in
in
a
New Orleans.
lying sack of crap. That's
He's
what he is.
he's in the Caribbean by way of New Orleans right now.
I
Why would
suppose
he
that's
go to the Caribbean?
He,
That's
of all reasons, he could be on his way there.
Does he
Uh,
have his phone on him? Do we know?
I'm sure he does. However, I'm not going to role play him for the time being. So, if you try to call him,
He
he
won't
is not going to answer.
I was just gonna text him, but that's fine. Anyway, so yeah, he's not here. So we should. If we're, are we gonna go? Do you guys want to go?
Ben, you're from
what's-
New Orleans.
What sort of party is it, though? Do we need to bring something, a gift,
I don't think
or
so.
what? How do we dress?
I will text Roxy and ask because I have no idea. So I'll pull out my phone and text again. What is the dress code for the event?
She texts back, "Come as you are."
She said, "Come as you are."
It's a car
I-
show.
I-
As she texts back, it's a car show with music and drinks.
We can put
Oh,
you
it's a
in
car
some.
show.
We can put you in some leather, Trudy.
Oh heavens!
Oh boy.
I mean, I think it's probably fine. You don't need to change it all. It's a car show, though.
oh, car show. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to dress up for that. All right. Sure. And you've got your new wheels.
Yes, I do. I'm sure
You're-
Roxy will like it.
You're gonna show off your car as well.
I would love to show off my car as well. Do you see how sexy it is? I mean, obviously it's not in the room, but
I would hope not.
You should text Remus and see if he'll bring the creamsicle by.
I don't know if I want to subject this group of people to that.
To Remus?
It's a car
It
show.
might
No,
be
to that
their thing.
car.
It might be their thing. You don't know.
I think, well, it's a car show. They are going to love that creamsicle.
Okay, I could text him.
All right.
Okay, I will text Remus and say, "Do you want to bring the creamsicle to a car show? I'm going to be showing off the Tiger." That's what I've named my car.
Okay, the tiger. So he is unavailable at this point in time. So you'll get a text back. Hello, this is Jeeves. We're going to assume that is a no. He's spending time, and he puts in quotation marks, with the family.
Oh,
He took
Okay,
them on
no.
he took them on a road trip in the creamsicle.
yes. So Remus is no go, but yeah, I mean, I still haven't heard yes or no. Do you guys want to go?
If we're set for everything else, seems like we are. I'm game.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull my
Why
keys
not?
out.
I can show off my new face.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn a handful of heads too.
Hmm.
A handful, huh?
That's not
A handful of kids.
okay. Lots of handfuls. I'm gonna text everybody the address so y'all can do GPS and we can all get there, so you don't have to follow anybody.
All right.
So she's gonna text them.
Sure, sounds
Text
good.
out to the group. I'm gonna text Roxy back and be like, "Cool, we are coming. See you in 15, 20. I don't know how long it's gonna take."
Okay, she sends you a thumbs up emoji.
All right, I'll head out to my car.
Okay.
All right, meeting adjourned. Let's go, everybody.
All right.
Trudy will ride with somebody.
Oh,
Trudy, you can drive with me.
okay, there you go. I was going to say you could have somebody take you, but that works.
Lily, of course, is with Ben.
Right.
I just meant Trudy will be driving on her own.
That's fine. Not a problem. So you are obviously know what the Trisha's vehicle looks like already. This has Seth written all over it.
Where did you say you got one of these?
It was kind of given to us as a apology for breaking into Ben's car when we were at the market.
Yeah, the Midnight Augury.
Yeah, that thing.
I think I might get one as a gift.
For
Although,
who?
Mr. Cronin. It's definitely
Oh,
his type of vehicle.
it's sexy, right?
I mean,
It is.
he
You
would
can
like
say
it.
it, Trudy.
I'm not really a car person.
Yeah, you're not Sophie, but oh, speaking of which, I need to change all that on the screen. I knew I was doing something wrong. Anyways, yeah. So you don't know really much about cars, but you do know a little bit about like what looks like a potentially secure vehicle, like the type that maybe armored up or something, and this has that look to it.
Didn't he just get something for Christmas from Malcolm?
He did.
Does he really need to?
That's up to Mommy Venture.
We'll put this on the back burner in case something happens.
Okay, let me get that.
Maybe he wants to upgrade, I suppose. It's only been 6 months.
Jerome, remind me, what kind of car is this? Like, I have a visual image in my head, but I don't remember the name.
It's a Conquest.
Okay.
2013 Conquest, which is basically I forget the brand of vehicle it is, but it's a complete remodel. It's like you know how guys get a hold of a van, and even though maybe it's a Mercedes van, they completely redo it, so they call it something else because of the package. The Conquest is kind of like that, but for security vehicles.
It looks like it could eat something. Cool. All right.
Okay, let's get the Toreador logo off of here. Get the Venture back up because she's playing a Venture, and we're good to go. Okay, so scene change as everybody just drives across town. The location is a parking lot on the south side of town, hence the name Southside Souls. It's actually not terribly far from where Lily's currently closed down bar is at. But the parking lot itself looks like they have rolled in a couple of porta potties. At one end, they've got a couple tables where they've got some drinks available, as well as a pretty decent sound system set up. There's like 3 rows of cars already. Each row has five cars, so a total of 15 that are showing, and they're all tricked out. Some of them look like they could probably pass for something from the Fast and the Furious, but most of them look like they are kind of goth out, like they could appear in a Rob Zombie video.
Nice.
And in fact, there's a duplicate of the Dracula that was from the Munsters, which you actually see in the video Dracula with Rob Zombie.
All right, I'm gonna hop out of the tiger and look around see if I see Roxy.
Yep. So as all of you get there, like the first song that's playing right now, that's blaring out, is Alice in Chains, "Man in the Box." So bow, 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 bow.
Lily approves.
There's some folks off to the side that are dancing or enjoying the sound. Other people are kind of walking back and forth and either answering questions or asking questions of the vehicles and just examining them. Some of them have their hoods up so you can see there's lights on underneath, and some of them have running lights, and it's a small car show. And as you walk around, Trudy, and you look for Roxy, I mean, she's there. She's at towards the back where the music is at. She currently is chatting with some folks. She's got a jacket on that matches the Southside Souls. They've got like a big club patch and whatnot. Of course, she's still got her kind of partially shaved head with the hair coming off the side, black coming down to red tips.
All right, as I get closer to her, I'm just gonna kind of wave and be like, "Hey!"
She motions you over. She says, "Hello. I took your advice and I decided to come to town.
I see this.
Your friend Revis, however, told me that Anzio's is unavailable right now. So I was a little bummed. You did recommend that.
Yeah, sorry about that. There was a little trouble that we had to deal with.
Yeah.
Was it my kind of party? Because it's still police taped.
Yeah. It was.
Man, I'm missing all the good stuff.
Well, you're here now, so you're probably not going to miss anything anymore.
That is
giving Lily a side look when it says it was unavailable, just like.
Lily's like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Anyway, this is kind of my family.
You have a family or
like family,
Yeah.
Quartery.
Oh, I see. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So there's a couple people here I don't recognize. So, and she's kind of motions with her hand. Just do the introductions, please.
Trisha's just gonna turn and be like, "All y'all as adults, you can introduce yourselves."
I'm Ben.
There goes the hospitality right out the window.
Where's your southern hospitality? Thank you. Anyway, we've met before, Roxy.
Yes.
I'm still Damaris.
I'm still Damaris.
I will reach out my hand to shake her hand and say, I'm Trudy Maxwell.
Pleasure. And she says, "Ben, I already know you. I saw you at the Gem Mart.
That's right.
You were hovering around Trish, I think.
You got it.
Mm-hmm.
And who's the redhead?
Persephone.
You're Greek. Ah.
Her last name is Papadopoulos.
Yeah.
How great is that to say?
She says, "Oh, are you the She says it'll come to me. Never mind. So Papadopoulos, very Greek. She says, "Well,
like my
please
big
don't."
fat Greek wedding Greek.
Yeah, she says, "Please don't throw any plates on the ground."
Yeah, don't worry.
Okay. Not that we have much, and the paper plates that you would throw, they're not really going to do much except maybe splatter if there's something on it. So probably not a good idea.
But yeah, that's us. And your car show looks awesome.
Oh, well, it's not really my car show. That's kind of the gang. It's what they do. They like their cars, the automotive. They do some other things from what I understand, but this is kind of like their bread and butter.
So,
Nice.
Miss Roxy, where did you move here from?
Oh, I came here from Boston.
It's a nice place.
It is. It's a bit more crowded than it is here, so this is kind of nice. There's a little bit more room to breathe.
Yeah.
It's
like
true.
Do we have refreshments of the?
Our type.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I wasn't really anticipating that. However, there are a couple dark corners, and there's plenty of people. So I think we would call that maybe free range. You're welcome to. Just
Wow.
obviously, I know that there's potential, you know, masquerade maybe issues. She says kind of more hushed tones. She says so. Just be careful. Obviously.
So when she says that, Ben is gonna aura percept her to see if he can gauge what she is.
Sure.
Does she have her hockey stick?
No.
Okay.
Hockey stick.
When we first met, she had a hockey stick.
Roxy did?
Mm-hmm.
Only one success.
Like Casey Jones.
Okay, so you're not able to make out a whole lot in her aura, but it is sparkling.
Okay. So with that, Ben goes, so, and then in hushed tones, and he kind of walks in closer. He's like, so, what exactly do you do? You get what we are, but you can't peg exactly.
And she kind of smiles. She says, "Oh, it's one of those official introduction sort of things." Oh, okay. I've only been through that a couple of times with your kind of people. She says, "No, I'm not. I'm more sparkle, less fang. Let's put it that way."
I did get that. Yeah. All right. We've got a few of those types in town. Have you met with any of them yet?
So I've heard. No, I haven't had the opportunity to yet. I'm looking forward to it.
I take it you're planning on staying in town for a while, seeing as how you've kind of made the Southside Souls your friends. I'm not sure what the relation is there at this point. You seem to have some sort of foothold here.
The appropriate term would be financial backer of the club.
Oh, gotcha.
Every club needs one of those or more.
And she says, she says they have such a history of helping out the community. I thought this would be the great way to, or I should say, this is the best way to slowly start to integrate, get to know people.
Out of interest, what sort of business are you in, Miss Roxy?
Oh, she kind of like motions everybody off, a little bit behind the speakers. So that way the sound is projecting out, and it's obviously harder to hear unless you're up close. And she says, I collect antiquities.
That's why you were at the bazaar. I got it.
I'm there frequently. Yes, I tend to do a lot of shopping and coming back and forth. And because the location changes, I tend to use it to travel.
What
Use
what
it to travel.
types? Oh, go ahead.
That's very interesting. So you can go in one door and come out a different door? Is that
Yes. Mm-hmm.
how it works?
That is correct. The door always changes. I'm surprised the door here has stayed here as long as it has.
That's kind of cool.
She says, "Isn't it?" She says,
Yeah.
I've been to Paris and I've been to Egypt. I've actually been to Hong Kong. That was fun.
Do you
Very
get
crowded, but Hong Kong.
Do you get any like weird like travel bugs from it? Like, if you're on a plane, you're like jet lagged, but if you're going through just a door, is it just like you walked through a doorway
Yeah,
and
of
suddenly
course. It
you're
is
there?
absolutely just like walking through a door. It's just that door happens to take you from your living room to Spain.
Okay, so the next time you decide to go on a trip, I want to come.
She says, well, that's going to be a little difficult, but I will keep that in mind.
Ever been to Japan?
I have, yes. Once.
Just gonna kind of look at Ben.
Yeah, good call. I don't know how much you know about what's going on in town so far, but if you run into any U.S. Marshals that are in Ashland right now, first off, they're sort of, kind of on our side. We have a working relationship with them right now. They're aware of, our kind and various kinds. And I've gotten word that they've got similar types, these agents that do weird things in Japan. You heard anything like that?
I haven't really been to. I haven't been to Asia in a while, and I also I don't frequent um, a lot of social circles when I'm there for obvious reasons. I'm usually not there to interact with other. Oh, what's the appropriate term we're using here? Supernaturals.
All right.
They, especially in Asia, they seem to have this whole. It's like completely different. So I'm not gonna try to understand it. I'm just gonna do me, and maybe do a little window shopping and then go back home.
Fair enough. If you happen to hear anything, let me know.
Oh, absolutely, sure. I'm happy to.
All right.
So I guess we'll go look at the cars for a little bit.
Oh, by all means, have fun. Again, if you're feeling a little peckish, there's some dark corners. Just
Mhm.
be a little careful.
Yeah.
But of course, if
actually
you
a
keep it behind
kinda-
the speakers, I'm sure if they end up screaming, people probably won't hear.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'm
At that, Trish is just going to kind of turn and start moseying her way to look at the cars.
I really could use a drink.
Yeah, same here. Let's, how about you and me go and find a couple or 3 or 4 and see what we can do.
Sounds good. That was quite the experience, and it took a lot out of me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's looking great. That's would have no idea, no scarring or anything else. You feeling okay or just tired?
I'm okay. I'm tired, and I have some damage to, because it does take a lot out of you.
Right. Yeah, I bet. What about your ghoul? Is she taken care of too?
She will be taken care of tomorrow and then transported to the Giovanni's hospital clinic thing to
Right.
recuperate.
Okay,
And
good.
I'm not sure when she's doing the decoy. I suppose we could have Trish ask.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's get some drinks and then we'll convene again.
Okay. And so, as you are going to go off and feed, we'll deal with that in just a second. So Roxy comes up, and as you're looking at the vehicles, she kind of pulls Trish off to the side and she says, "So about the boyfriend thing that we talked about."
Yeah.
She
Did you
said,
track him down?
"I did actually. That's one of the reasons why I'm here. And I know you said you would help. I just wanted to check to see if that would be something you're still up for."
Yeah. I guess just within reason. You're not wanting to like kill him, are you?
Heavens, no. I just
Okay.
want him back.
Oh, you want him back? I thought we were doing a whole revenge thing.
Oh, we could do that too.
Okay. Well, who is it?
And she pulls out her phone. The picture's a little old, and she says, "Now I know you guys know some of the supernatural here." And she kind of pulls out the phone and she shows you the picture of him, and she says, "You wouldn't happen to know Colin Lower, would you?"
She kind of like coughs for a second, like, oh, Colin? Like, okay, yes, I do. I do happen to know him. How long ago did all y'all's date?
She says, "It's been a little while."
Like, how long is a little while?
Well, he up and ran out. How long has it been? At least 15 years ago. It's taken some time to
Okay.
track him down.
Tr- uh, Understandable. There's a slight hiccup. I do know him. Um, he's involved with someone here of
Oh,
he's married to the Baron.
you're referring to Sophie.
Dear Lord, you know about her too? Okay, let's okay. Look, this is not what are you wanting to do?
Well, I just told you. I mean,
How, but
he
how are
probably
you
he probably needs to be punished a little bit, but I'm not interested in killing him.
Wow. What kind
okay?
of friends do you
Do
have?
you you are not here. Go away.
I know. Oh,
I cannot tell you how long I've been waiting to watch this moment.
Um, do you
She says, "Is this going to be a problem?"
Yeah, it's gonna be a problem, love. So
But you
let me
gave me your
explain the
word.
dynamic. I know I gave you my word, and I will do everything that I possibly can to help you within my abilities. So do you know who Sophie is?
Of course I do. I wasn't aware that she was a baron. What is a baron outside of a typical landed title from way back when?
So she's in charge. She's like the head honcho person for the kindred here in the city.
Oh, wow.
And
Well, my ex-fiance certainly married up.
okay. See, but the problem is if you try to go after Colin, Sophie will come after you
Okay.
Eat her.
No, I mean, I understand.
with
I'm sure there's
all
going
of
to be
the
some
force
animosity. Oh, so,
of the kindred behind her.
oh, I see. So she's going to take it personally and involve the whole city.
And more, you don't understand how much she loves Colin. It's like a whole thing.
Well, it sounds more like a Toreador obsession, really. No offense.
Have you gotten in between a Toreador and their obsession before?
I haven't needed to. Usually, when they're staring at an art piece, I know enough to leave them be.
Do you think you could just find another boyfriend?
No.
Okay.
But I want this one.
um. Okay. So what is your thought process behind all this? You get Colin back
Obviously, it's
force
changing a little bit. I,
forcefully.
well, if need be, um, as she says, but obviously, I'm having to rethink some things because she is pulling or it sounds like she will, uh, pulling a trump card on personal matters, which is very gauche, but I understand.
I mean, like it took you 15 years to track him down. Um, so obviously you understand the pull of love, and she will not give him up. Why did he leave to begin with?
I don't fully know. I just know that he stood me up at the altar.
Oh, that is genuinely rough. That sucks.
But what I'm most concerned with is that you gave me your word, and it sounds like you're going to be going back on that.
I'm not going back on my word. I didn't say a single thing about going back on my word. But
Okay.
what I am doing is I'm giving you all of the facts in the situation.
Well, you included yourself in that, city thing.
I am part of the city. You got me between a rock and a hard place, love. I did not realize that that was the person. I had no idea that that was the person you were going after.
I didn't ask you about your ex or what happened there. I just accepted that there was some sort of traumatic event.
It's true. And there was no okay. So what's your thought process here?
Well, like I said, it is currently fluid, but the end result is to get back my man.
Right. Does he have a say in any of this, or are you just gonna go
Heavens,
full
no.
bore?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, what would you like me to do?
Well, for the time being, since you are very much on the fence with this, it seems.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yes, they can see you. Oh my gosh.
So she says, I'm going to have to think about a couple of things, but I would appreciate this if you kept this between just you and I.
I will keep quiet.
Roll
I
your
promise
willpower.
until I hear for you. I'm totally lying though.
Yep.
Okay.
I understand that.
Oh,
Hold on. Where's my willpower?
Near the bottom of the
Why
first
can't
page.
I find it? Hold on.
Near the bottom of the page.
Oh, there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
Great. So roll 60, 10, difficulty 10.
oh my God.
Ouch.
1 success.
One success. Okay. So as she says that, you are fully inclined to not say anything about this particular encounter.
Manipulative.
All right.
But it feels natural. It's not like you suddenly go like, you can't do anything. You're just like, that sounds like a good idea.
Okay. I promise I will not say anything until I hear from you, okay?
And she says, well, I appreciate that. I guess in the meantime, just enjoy the show.
All right. These are some beautiful cars, though.
Aren't they, though?
Did you, sponsor any of them?
I have not yet. I'm still somewhat new to the city, but I would imagine if all things go well, I will be sponsoring a car.
Understandable. You see that beast over there?
Uh,
The big one with the... That's mine. I just wanted to point it out.
the one that looks like it belongs to a paramilitary unit?
Yes.
I see.
I just thought it was sexy. Anyway, she's just going to continue on down. So does that mean that I can't tell anybody?
That is correct.
Ah!
Oh boy.
Okay.
There's no way this is gonna not go
No,
back.
this is not going to end well.
I am so
Not
glad
gonna
that
end well.
somebody else is going to be in the fire besides me.
Come on. Trish is all sweet and cute. It's rude.
Exactly.
If I find out, I'm gonna light that fire. Possibly under Roxy, because that's some shady shit.
It is. You guys know Trish would never be mean like that. Okay. Anyway. So she just keeps walking down and looking at the cars.
Sure.
And is talking with some of the owners about their vehicles.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so those of you who are going off to feed, why don't you give me a... we'll start with a dexterity and stealth check. Difficulty 5, given the noise and darkness.
Six.
Okay. Sneak.
5 successes.
Okay, and also sneaky. Both
I'm
of you
just
have
not
gone off
sneaky
to-
when I really, really need to be.
Both of you go off someplace to abscond with some food. How much blood do you take? Lily?
She's only going to take one
One blood point.
from this one. She'll go find somebody else too.
Okay, so we'll have to roll for that later. But okay, so you
Yeah.
successfully get a blood point off of the one. He's not really any the wiser. And
Oh, by the way, how much am I down, Jerome, as far as health?
I'm not worried about it at this point in time.
Okay.
And from this one person, yeah, he'll want to seek another one out too, but
Okay.
he'll take 2.
2. Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
And then I take it you're going to do another one, so you're trying to quietly abscond away with somebody. Go ahead and roll again.
Man. 8 successes.
Woo.
5.
Some sneaky people.
Yeah.
So once again, it's not difficult talking to people and getting them off someplace quieter, especially given the loud music and the potential dark spots. And for your second meal, Lily, how many you take?
2.
2, okay.
Same here.
And take 2 from that person, okay?
She's not going to eat people.
Again.
Again, yeah.
All right.
It's good for now.
And so while we're doing this, Damaris, what are you doing here?
I guess I'm kind of people watching because I'm not really sure what kind of party this is supposed to be. It's just really just a car show.
Mhm.
She doesn't do car shows.
Which is
Yeah,
probably
Trudy's
why you lost control of the gang.
Trudy's gonna hang around
It's
with.
fine. I honestly don't know what she's going to be doing. She's probably just going to be walking around, just sort of meandering a little bit, just
Yeah.
watching people,
Okay,
We can
maybe or percepting here and there.
sure.
Just kind of, yeah.
As you're you're just crowd watching for the most part, people really seem to be into the cars, especially the ones that look like they've been tricked out the most with lighting and or like something under the hood or whatnot. And as the two of you are kind of meandering around, looking at things, Trudy, you end up hearing Aunt Trudy.
She'll spin around.
Okay, it's Jimmy.
Oh,
He says, "What are you doing here? I didn't think this was like your scene."
oh no! I just came with my friends. What are you doing here?
I made it a goal this year to try at least one thing different a month.
Oh,
To try and expand my horizons if I can, and here I am.
that's a lovely idea. And today is a car show.
It is, well, tonight anyways, but they probably held it at night because everything looks better with like the street lights and whatnot that they have on their cars.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so, and Jimmy is dressed casually. He's just got like a polo and slacks. Like it looks like he could probably step into either golf or a light work environment pretty easily.
And she'll kiss his cheek.
Aw. And so as she does, he gives her a polite hug, and he nods to Damaris. Damaris,
Hey, Jimmy. Good
He
to
says,
see you again.
your hair is different. What happened?
Oh, it got cut off when I got kidnapped and tortured.
I kind of stepped into that. I am so sorry. I
Yeah,
thought
it's all
maybe you were
good.
just doing something different.
No, it's it took years to get it dreaded like that, so it's going to take years to redo it, so it's fine.
Okay. Again, I'm so sorry. I totally forgot about the whole K word thing, and I didn't know that apparently buzzing your head was a part of that. So that sucks.
They didn't. I mean, kind of. I mean, they either ripped it out, cut it out, and whatever. It was just gone. Let me just say. But thankfully, it's grown back. But I gotta. Yeah, not a necessity at the moment.
How's the arm these days? By the way,
Feels very bare. she just kind of holds out her arm and pushes her. Like one has no tattoos whatsoever, and the other one's completely covered. So,
Now, did you have those before or after?
it's a combination, mostly before, but a lot of after over the years.
You know, I bet Isadora could help you out if you wanted them back.
No, I don't know if I want to owe any more favors or owe any favors, period, at the
Fair
moment.
enough. Fair enough.
She's kind of collecting them, it seems. But you know, chance to do some new work.
In due time.
Yeah.
She says, so what or he says anyways, what brings all of you here? Was this an impromptu meeting or something?
One of Miss Trish over there, she kind of points or indicates the general direction of where Trish had been standing.
Mm-hmm.
Made friends with the lady who I suppose is now in charge of this here club. And
their new sponsor for the club. Okay, I know who you're talking about.
That's the one. So we're just here moseying.
Okay. Good enough. I suppose.
What is it that you try to get out of these new experiences?
A new experience, literally. I'm trying to do things that I wouldn't normally do. And the family, when they're not doing family stuff, tends to do like golf or gambling or so on and so forth. And I'm trying to do things that are like way outside of that.
You see potential for branching out?
I have no idea. He's like, I'm just trying to do it to be different, to see if there's something else I can learn or yeah, I mean, maybe an opportunity. Like just the other day, I tried alpine skiing.
Oh.
So it's like skiing without the snow.
How does that work?
They're more like grass skates sort of thing. So it was kind of interesting. It's the same premise, but it's just without snow.
Admirable.
I tried it. That's what I can say. I think the whole snow kind of adds an element to it. So it seems more interesting.
Well, these sure are fancy cars.
They are actually. I'm actually quite impressed with them. I was thinking of maybe talking to Roxy about having the club do another car show over by the Speakeasy.
That sounds like a good idea.
Do you think so?
Pull in clientele from. I imagine there's a good crossover of interest.
I mean, I don't know how much crossover there would be for the gambling, but I'm thinking for the services industry, it might work out. Like, our restaurant and the drinking and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, especially if they can take their drinks outside of the speakeasy and into the...
Right. I didn't think of that. I could probably get a permit for that
into the loft.
Yeah, okay.
I could see that going over well.
See, you're already helping me. So on my service receipt that I get, I'm going to put that you were a good Donna tonight. How's that?
Yes, do pass that along to my supervisor.
He says, I definitely will. He says, but with that, I should probably get going. I got things to take care of at the Speakeasy. And again, you're all welcome to show up anytime that you want. There's gambling, there's drinks, there's specific menus. Sometimes music, when we have special events coming in. So
Oh, we'll have to make a point of it. Bring the others.
Okay. Well, and
to
he just
visit.
smiles and he says, "So Aunt Trudy, Miss Damaris, it was great seeing you both again. I'm gonna head on out."
No, likewise.
And by this point, Lily and Ben are coming back from having their snackadoos.
Do you want to look at some of the cars, honey?
Yeah, might as well, see what I can pretend to afford when I become, as rich as Remus. That'd be fun.
I'm sure that we could find you a nicer car.
I mean, the one that Pantheon lets me drive, it's good enough. I don't need anything that's like a tank. That's why I didn't need that big one. And it's fun, but draws attention.
Are you still going to teach me how to drive?
I thought you'd never ask. I wasn't going to force you to, because...
Wait, you don't know how to drive?
Yeah, that's why she asks for rides.
Well, I just thought...
I never had the
Go for that.
opportunity to learn. Well, I have driven, but not very well. And Ben saw how that turned out.
No, I think they have night classes for that.
Car around telephone poles don't go very far.
Yeah. It's okay.
But I was being chased,
Well,
so...
You've been able to manage so far, so,
Yeah,
No.
I figure that maybe no more Ubers.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Malcolm said that he learned to drive as a way to keep him feeling young.
Feeling
the whole
young.
keeping up with technology kind of thing.
Yeah, that seems to be a weird thing for the older types. They don't really keep up with, I was from the 80s, even this thing is a weird magical rectangle, but does what it needs to do. It seems like it gets easier to use these things every year, too. You just hit the thing that says what you want to do, and bam. So that's been nice. Boy, back in the 80s, you had to type stuff in these commands. I didn't even try to learn all that stuff. That was crazy. Yeah, now it's just easy. Anyway.
Yeah, and it kind of depends on where you're at, too, because, the people that live up in the tower doesn't really like technology.
Yeah.
I don't know how they've gotten along as long as they have without.
Sometimes I do wonder, but also, some of us have other priorities, and so we just hire people to do those things for us. Focus on the things that only we can do.
I think the cell phones were the best thing ever.
I'm
no more
getting more
telephone.
comfortable with it every night.
No more telephone booths. Don't have to worry about a quarter.
Here, you know what? Let's do one of those selfies that everyone talks about. Trudy will get out her phone and attempt to take a picture of everybody together.
Okay.
At this point, Trish will be coming up from behind them and being like, "What in the world are you doing?"
Here, get that.
I am not going to be in that
get
photo.
That flashy car in the back too.
Okay, we're taking a selfie. Okay. Trisha's gonna get down in the front and be just nestled in between two of you guys and be like, "Hello."
Okay.
And Damaris apparently steps out. Is that what Damaris is doing?
That's what she said.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
I said, is Damaris stepping out then?
Sorry, what?
We have a bit
yes.
We have a bit of a delay. I apologize. I'm not too sure why. I think it's just a connection issue. So
it might be my internet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I see that. Okay. Well, Trudy will attempt to take a picture, and it probably cuts off half of y'all.
Sure.
I guess from like your
Except for Trish because she's so bloody short.
So you get a selfie. About half of you are in there. There's a little bit of her finger.
and then she'll send it to Malcolm and say, "Having fun looking at the car show. Wish you were here."
Okay.
And then she has to ask Trish to help her figure out which way to send it.
Okay, sure.
She'll just take the phone from her and just like send it over and just hand it back. I'm not going to teach you how to do it. I'm just going to do it for you.
All right.
Well, I think this is pretty much it. If y'all want to like hang out more, otherwise, I think we're probably good to go.
What else is on the agenda tonight? Anything interesting? We can
Well,
head over to the speakeasy if there's nothing pressing.
Have you heard anything more from Mr. V?
only that he's got the scent from the shirt, so he's having his animals, his people, continue the search.
So they haven't come up with anything yet, then.
No, it's taking time. Yeah, they're not instant. Obviously, they found out where her car was, and she left the car, but yeah, haven't got anything else back yet.
Is it worth investigating the car?
Well, suppose we could. Not sure how much there's going to be there at this point. He's already got his animals searching the scent. We could take a look to see if it's still there.
Probably
there-
should take the car back to the pawn shop instead of leaving it where it is so it doesn't get vandalized.
That's a good idea. Was there a GPS in it? Or was it an older car that's like a Cracker Jack car?
Not exactly
Good
sure if it's
question.
got GPS, but he told us where it was. We can just head there. I can get the specific instructions from him and take a look.
That's not a bad idea.
All right. So Ben goes ahead and shoots off a text to Vidius to see if he can get the exact locale of the car.
So as you pull up your text messaging, you see you missed a text while you were being sneaky and feeding.
Okay.
And it's an address.
Oh, okay. From Mr. Vidius?
Yes.
Look at that. He's got an address.
Of
And-
Shannon's whereabout?
And then there's what appears to be like a visual picture from above. It's about as great as Trudy's selfie, but it's a kind of a picture of what the place looks like. Couple trees, big bushy trees out front, older looking house, some open land on either side, so it looks like it's probably somewhere on the outskirts.
Okay. So yeah, he shows that Persephone is like, yeah, that's the place.
So are you ready to go get her back tonight?
Well, you
Born ready.
sure that's where she's at? Do you want me to scry and see if I can get into it first? And if I can, that's probably likely the spot.
We probably ought to prepare before running in there.
I don't know who or what's there.
Right? We don't even know who took her, right?
Well, we're thinking it was the Shovelheads.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say. It could be Sabat. It could be hunters. We really don't know.
Yeah, we definitely need to know more before we walk into that.
Yeah.
Damaris, can you look at the actual location?
Yeah, now that I
don't-
have an address.
I don't think it's hunters because of the fact that the guy didn't show up on video.
Yeah, but which of us does that? I mean, who can make video scramble or go static while it's pointed at them? That
Well,
seems to be how this
Uh,
works.
the only
Lasombra.
clan I know it would be the Sombra. From what I've heard, that they don't cast a reflection. And the Sombra are typically Sabat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Flames, if you could check out, I'm gonna text the Baron, see if she can do
Mm.
her thing from a distance too.
Are we still out where the cars are, or
Yeah.
have we moved to a different? Okay, so you mind if we just move this party away from the crowd then?
Why don't we head back to the haven, to the communal haven, and where it's safe to do such things?
Sure. Yeah, we'll meet you guys back at the communal haven. Sound good?
Yeah.
Sounds
All right.
good.
Head there.
And we disperse.
Yes.
And scatter.
Vanish.
Ninja vanish. So everybody leaves this area in your respective vehicles, drive across town to the communal haven. Lights are currently on. There's some music playing in the background as you guys get there.
All right.
When we get there, Trudy will ask Ben, have you heard anything from the police about that second body?
Not yet.
Are they investigating?
Haven't gotten any word back from them, honestly. I can reach out to my guy, see if he has any info on that.
6. Okay.
We still don't know where that second one came from, did we?
Not yet. Yeah.
It wasn't any of us.
Be right back.
No, it wasn't me.
Not I.
So that's definitely worth looking into.
Oh, we definitely will be. Just that Shannon kind of
Sure.
took preference. We need to get her back.
All right. So head inside the communal haven, and then Ben will text Detective Rumbus and ask if he has any info on the second victim. Any details he's got on that.
Sure.
Hey,
Okay.
Ben, ask him if he has any information about this house, this location where I think Shannon's at.
Oh, sure.
See if there's been any activity around it.
And yeah, he'll also ask if he's got any info about goings on at blah 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 location.
Okay.
Shannon's apparently being held.
So, as we're waiting for Rachel to come back, as you guys come walking in, you're starting your text messaging and whatnot. You guys hear firework by Katy Perry coming from the living room. As you see Jesse with a Wii controller and the step thing in front, trying to do Just Dance.
Nice.
Huh.
Hello, Jesse.
And he's like, "Hello, boss. Who's the redhead?" And he's like, "Oh," and he hits pause real quick on the controller.
I keep
Don't want to lose my place.
I keep
Yeah.
forgetting I don't look like myself anymore.
Yeah, this is Lily, but call her Persephone from now on.
Parsnip.
Sure.
That's a right weird name. But okay. We can go with Parsnip.
It's Greek.
Parsnip?
No, Persephone.
Persephone.
I think she was.
Oh yeah,
she
no,
was
that's pretty Greek.
Some kind of goddess, I think.
Yeah. She was taken by Hades to the underworld.
Oh, does that make
Kind
you
of a
Hades?
romantic story.
Does that make you Hades, honey?
guess so.
So he's like staring at Ben. And he's like, "You're not going to get like no flaming hair or nothing, are you?"
No, that'd be really bad for my health. So
Yeah,
no.
especially with all the friends you think. I figured that'd be kind of hard, especially being around other vampire types. You making them all like freak out.
I
That's not a
think
good
he'd
thing.
look a little strange with red hair.
No, he looks fine just how he is. Very handsome.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to get back to my dexterity training. So everybody have fun.
All right.
I was really actually expecting to see Cindy and not Jesse dancing.
I was about to ask, is Cindy around? Or is she working tonight?
No, Cindy is in her room.
Yeah, I should go check on her. Actually, here, and he finishes the text he's sending. He's like, "I'll be right back."
Yeah, you
Okay.
might want to warn her about me.
Yeah, good call. So he goes to Cindy's room to see if she's in.
Okay. I mean, you can.
And Lily will go over to Damaris and see if she needs anything before she starts.
Okay.
No, I've got my stuff there, my bowl, and she'll start whenever.
And
Whenever.
so Ben, you see that the room is mostly dark, like, well, because it's the pool house basically.
You're right.
But there's a flickering light on, kind of like there's a TV or something.
Okay.
So it changes a little bit as scenes might change.
Okay. Was her door closed or was it
Yeah.
open?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh,
So
it's basically a small little house out back. So yeah, it's always
Okay.
going to be closed.
Okay. So he'll go ahead and knock on the door, see if she answers.
Okay. She, the door opens up and she says, "Oh, hi, Dad," but she's just got like a big old bowl of popcorn.
Hey, princess, just wanted to check up on you. How are you feeling?
Okay, I guess. I've watched all of season 4 of Outlander.
Okay. You've been busy then with that. It's
Well, watching shows. I started Wednesday, or I should say, I started Thursday, and now I'm up to season 4.
okay. Have you been having talks with Dr. Prester?
Oh, that's right. No, I don't like shrinks.
Oh. Well, I mean, I know you've been through a lot, and you mind if I just come in? I want to ask you something.
So she just steps back from the door and sets the popcorn down. And of course, hits pause real quick.
So he
And then
heads
she
in.
quickly pulls it down because it's like a really steamy scene in Outlander or something. She's like, "Oh God." Doesn't want that on when Dad's in the room. That's not right.
Right. Walks in, closes the door behind him, and goes, "Yeah, so I know you've been through a lot recently with everything that's gone on, obviously. But it's making me realize, and maybe it's making you realize too, that where you live, where we live, what we all are, with you being the exception here, it's dangerous. It's tough to keep yourself safe unless you've got what it takes to be safe. I'm wondering where you're at mentally as far as living here, and what do you think?"
I'm still getting adjusted to being on this side. So that's kind of a hard question to unpack. But I can't just not see everything. I mean, no matter where I go, this is all around us.
Well, yeah, I hear you. I mean, it just is I'm just gonna tell you straight out. If I had the ability, I'd be busting their skulls for what they did to you right now. But there's weird stuff going on, and if I go off half-cocked and just start kicking ass and taking names, uh, somebody's gonna pull up my name, and I don't want to do that again to the city, to my friends.
Is this a masquerade thing?
It's it's not as much that, it's danger. You know, it's not like we're living in just regular ho hum, mundane human being society. I mean, you know that.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, you were just taken, and it was nothing for them to do that. And if somebody like us was around, or something else, they'd all be in the hospital, or worse, and you'd be fine. So I just wanted to know where you're at as far as how are you feeling about what's happened to you.
Um, you are you trying to like offer me drugs or something? I don't.
I don't
This feels
like,
like a Marvel movie where you're about ready to give me the super soldier serum or something.
you know, I mean, it's not a bad idea.
You have a super soldier? Okay, hold on. If you've got the serum that made Captain America, why haven't you used it?
No, no, no. I'm talking, there's a couple of things that could happen, in my mind. If you want to not be taken advantage of like that, which would, that would lift a weight off my shoulders because I just got you back. And I didn't think that was even possible. And when you were gone, boy, if my friends weren't here, there wouldn't be that gang. The cops would have a lot on their hands. They'd have a lot of bodies to
Okay,
clean up and identify. Okay,
I track.
so to keep you safe, I could provide you with my blood, and
You?
you would be a ghoul, which gives you some benefits. Or, and I know it's a big question, and I'm not expecting an answer immediately. You just went through a lot, but keep in mind, it's possible for you to be changed. One of us.
Oh hell no! No 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 no! Definitely not that.
Right? Fair enough?
I haven't had a chance to live yet. I don't want to cut that off all of a sudden and become what you are. No offense.
None taken. I hear you. I wasn't going to force it on you, just letting you know it's possible.
Okay, so how about I counter offer with I get a big gun and I start taking some self defense classes.
That'd be great. I mean, that'd at least be something.
Okay, I could do that. I still have a lot of money apparently.
Good, good. Yeah, and you know what? See if you can do some digging. I'll see what I can do too about your Kara's past. I mean, hopefully that was the only thing that she had on the back burner.
No, she
But,
had multiple boyfriends, but I've cut them all off.
oh, okay. Are any of them gonna come knocking? Do I need to be ready to greet them, or what?
Oh no, no, no. Most of them aren't from here because she traveled a lot for her job. They're like all over the place.
Okay. All right. Well, good. Okay. If you need any help with, self-defense, I mean, that's my bread and butter, if you couldn't tell by now. So just let me know if you need some help there, okay?
Okay. I've got something could you throw away for me?
What is it?
So she reaches into her drawer and pulls out like a gigantic thing of condoms.
Huh.
Can you throw these away, please? I clearly don't need them.
Got it. Will do. All right. That's
And Kara apparently came prepared.
right. Yep. Makes sense. Okay. All right, kiddo. Good talk. Good talk. And gives her a kiss on the forehead. Talk to you later.
It's still a little awkward, but she's like, "Oh, okay." And then before you leave, she says, "Can you like shout when you're at the door to the house? You guys have like really great hearing. I don't want to start this up knowing that you could possibly hear the show."
Right. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, thanks, Dad. She kind of sits down a little awkwardly back in her chair, waiting for you to,
Yeah.
to head out.
Heads awkwardly closes the door. There he is holding the condoms. Wow. Okay. Well, all right then.
I can't wait for him to walk in with those.
Yeah. So he's heading into the house now.
Okay.
So babe,
you guys are. Damaris is about ready. She's got she's got her little water bottle filled back up with water to start doing the scrying and whatnot. And comes walking in with like this. It's like the candies sort of thing. Like they're just all like one right after another.
Yeah.
So it's like 20 of them like that.
Yeah. So he's trying to like gather them up in like a smaller package so he can just toss them and just walking towards the trash can.
Lily's just going to kind of watch curiously.
Ben is like looking at her, and then he looks at the trash can, opens it up, looks at her, throws it away, closes the trash can again. He didn't see anything.
Yeah, not that you need those.
Jesse gives him a thumbs up. He's all smooth, boss.
For me.
Babe, Damaris is ready.
Right. Walks over. All right. What you got?
Well, I rolled 6 on my roll drum total.
Okay.
In the Discord.
Alrighty. So you.
Yes, I'm googling the address basically.
So you scribe and with the address, looking down, and you get a big blank spot.
Yep, I think this is it. I can't really get a pinpoint on it. Big blank spot here.
Okay. Yep. They've got magical protection.
Which we might need to call Sansa.
Maybe. All right. Right. And then Ben makes sure to text Sophie to letting her know. Got the address of Shannon, if she's willing to do her spirit travels to check it out.
Okay.
Is that something that Sophie would be able to do today?
Let the dice decide. Brittany, what would you like? Odd or even?
Odd.
Okay. Sophie does not get the text currently. She is preoccupied.
Okay. All right.
I don't think Roxy would approve.
Probably not.
Okay, so maybe we need to do some scouting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ben pulls up that address on his phone on like Google Maps, and he takes a look at just what the area looks like. Is it like a middle of nowhere, but up in the mountains in the forest type of thing, or something else?
It's outskirts of town. So, like 2 streets over, you're probably back in town. but it's one of those long, winding roads that the houses start getting more country when you go out that direction. But
Okay.
it's on the east side of town, up towards the other side of the mountains. So it's not quite on the mountains themselves, but like if you kept following the winding road up, that's where it would go.
Yeah, we need to make sure that there's no bombs. You and I tend to get blown up every time we go
Yeah,
on these kind of missions.
yeah, they like bombs, especially if it's the group that we dealt with before. But if they're different, okay, we need to approach without them knowing. And we need to approach from different angles, front and back. I know this group isn't exactly like perfect for combat, but we've got a lot. Trish, how are you feeling about busting a skull or two if the need arises? I know that's not exactly your forte, but what do you think you can do?
Trish, why don't you roll self-control?
Okay.
To make them introduce themselves. We're adults.
Look here, you.
Just saying.
Where
That hurts.
where is
It's
it?
first page, right hand side, in the middle, in the advantages area. It's under virtues.
Oh, there it is. Jeez Louise. Okay. What do I have to get?
Something.
Thank you. I got a 9, a 5, and a 2.
9, 5. Okay. So when Ben asks that, you're ready to crack some skulls.
I can do it.
Maybe we can test out Dozer's abilities.
Where exactly?
Dozer is a military trained dog. He could come.
Where exactly is this location?
Ben shows it to you on Google Maps.
So, like, is it like how far outside of Ashland is it?
You mean from the city proper? Maybe about 2 miles. Not terribly far.
Okay, so it is actually really close.
Mm-hmm.
Could I call for Vinny to go check it out?
You certainly could.
Who would I call about that? Jimmy?
You'd actually call one of the Utes.
Okay. So I will put in a phone call, or I'd probably put in a phone call and just explain that there's a location in question that we can't get a read on, and wondered if he could take a look.
Sure.
And
Just
see what
to
feeling
let you know, the 2 Utes, one is Ricky Giovanni and the other is Tommy Putanesca.
Okay.
So you end up calling Ricky. And it's basically a relay thing, because it's not like, Vinny has the capability, unless he's inhabiting a body, of speaking directly into a phone. And he says, okay, yeah, sure thing, Aunt Trudy. Boss says we'll get the guys together and we'll go scope it out for you.
Did you say it was Ricky?
Yeah. He says, now are we doing anything, or are we just looking?
Yeah, potentially. They have a friend of ours hostage, and we intend to go get her back, but we need to see who we're dealing with first.
Okay, so
if y'all want in on that action, you are more than welcome to join us.
So he relays that, and you hear like a string of obscenities and something about terrorist dirtbags, or something like that. And he says, yeah, the boss is in.
I thought y'all would be. All right, give me a ring and let me know what you find before we head down there.
Sure thing, Aunt Trudy. Just give us, we'll call you back in 2 and 2.
Thanks, honey. So then she'll hang up and look to the group and say, I got the Utes on it. They'll give me a call back soon. And
Oh, so they're going to scout for us?
yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Vinny
Wonderful.
places where a lot of us can't go. So,
Okay.
and a little extra muscle in our pocket won't hurt either.
Sounds good.
How is Cindy, by the way?
She's managing. She's binging a show. Oh yeah. If you are approaching her abode out there, yell out to her before you reach the door. That way she knows you're coming.
What is she
She
watching?
watching Jamie Fraser again.
She's just watching stuff, and
You didn't confiscate things from her room, did you? Was that?
no, she had things she didn't need because it was apparently Kara's stuff, and she's trying to cut ties from Kara's life as much as possible. Apparently, that she was, more of a party girl than what you'd expect. She had a few fires burning.
That's not right.
So she's had to burn some bridges. But
It's a
Anything we need to be concerned about?
apparently not. They're all far away and seemed like it was a pretty easy break, more or less, for each of them. So if they do come, I mean, not a big problem. We'll be ready this time. She's gonna take some self-defense classes, have herself learn how to use a gun.
You think she'd be interested in joining the Anarch self-defense class that we've got going on with Agaya and company?
Maybe. Seems like she wants to kind of mingle with humanity as much as she can. She wants to get back into that. That was taken from her, and she wants
Right.
to experience it.
That's fair. That makes a lot of sense.
You could get her a dozer. Not my dozer, but
You
you could
could.
get her. You get her like a guard dog that's like a Cane Corso or something like that would protect her and attack. They're really great. They're very loyal dogs too.
Maybe a pit bull?
They cost a mint though.
That's a good point. She's actually still got a bit of money. That's the one thing that Kara did have, but probably a lot from her other activities. But anyway, she's at least got some, so she'll be able to start those classes and do what she needs. I already offered to help her out if she needs. She knows what I can do, so
Right.
yeah. Anyway, you know how long, Trudy, that they're going to take looking at that place?
Well, they got to get down there first. We'll just cool your heels for a little while.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna take Dozer outside for a little bit. She's gonna grab his ball and walk outside and just start throwing it
Sure.
for him.
So you're playing with Dozer. Guys are just waiting around at this point for word that comes back, and then there's a text from Trudy.
To Trudy,
To Trudy. A whistle sound.
I will check the text message.
Okay. And it is from Ricky.
And what does it say?
Okay to call?
She'll just call him right
Okay.
then.
All right, so you get it back. Ricky, so Ricky having to relay at this point, he says, okay, so the boss says there's some weird whoosh going on with the building, which helps keep him out. But he was able to get close enough to look in like the windows and whatnot, and we see somebody down in the basement.
Okay, so he didn't see any other people there.
We can see what appear to be 3 schlubs. Are you sure these are terrorists?
I don't know who they are. We couldn't get a read on who took Miss shoot, I forgot her name.
Shannon.
Miss Shannon.
And then you hear in unison, "Oh." And then Ricky's like, "Wait, we're not like saving her, are we?"
What do you mean? What's the problem?
Big Boss says that she's she's cursed or no good because of her former boss.
She's cursed? What does that mean?
You gotta ask Uncle Malcolm. He seems to know more about it.
At that, Ben goes, "Who's cursed? What's going on?"
They were surprised that it's Miss Shannon that I was asking about. They said that she's cursed because of her former boss. Who was her former boss?
Former boss was a Giovanni.
Giovanni.
What do you know? Do you have a name?
Yeah. Ricky is all. Her name was Rebecca Milliner.
Oh my gosh.
Who's Rebecca Milliner? Does that?
And you hear a string of obscenities, again on the other side. Boss says that she was a complete screw up.
Okay, so what does that have to do with Miss Shannon and her being missing?
Damaged goods.
But she's still a person, and she's been good to us, and Mr. Benjamin wants her back. So
okay, I'm just saying we didn't know that's who we're going after. So
well, that's who we're going after.
Okay.
Okay, so tell me about these schlubs.
Oh yeah.
Put it on speaker.
So okay. So they all just look like average guys. There's 3 of them. One guy looks like he could probably work at a Quickie Mart. Another guy looks like maybe he peaked in high school. Maybe he was like a jock at one point in time. And the other girl just looks like some random chola from California.
So none of them seem to be like kindred or?
No.
Okay, well that doesn't explain the whoosh on the building.
No, of course not. I'm just saying this is what they look like. They don't look like no masterminds or anything, Auntie.
Does Vinny have any way to see what I don't know?
Are they supernatural? Can you tell at all?
Yeah. So he relays the question again, and you can hear Vinny say, "Oh yeah, yeah." They're definitely they're definitely supernatural. Boss says they're definitely supernatural.
Are they possibly hunters?
Can he tell what kind?
No, Boss says he's never seen it before.
They're like Pete 910. This is the same type of thing that was going on. They've got that type of quality.
What's a Pete 910?
We ran into dudes like this before. There's a guy that we know of as Pete. He has a handle on this network, Pete 910. He went through some weird stuff in his past where he was human. His family was slaughtered by Sabat, and during that, he just got powers and started wailing on him. Like
Whoa.
these guys have things that allow them to attack us like it's nothing.
Like a true faith type thing?
Maybe, but the guy wasn't religious, so it's something else going on. And it
Yeah.
seems like they all work together, and they've been here. And Ashland has apparently had hunter problems in the past, right before I even came to town. And this is the same type of thing they were doing with Eric Lickaby. Capturing a ghoul, beating him up, keeping him in a chair, and they even had that whoosh that prevents people from looking in, like flames can't look in.
To what
And
purpose?
they were heavily bombed.
Yeah, that Pete guy, he knows explosives, and he rigs every place he's at like it's World War III.
What's the purpose of taking them, though?
To use them as bait to come after us. They don't
Because-
care what type we are. We're all the same to them.
And they
Okay.
figure we'll come after our ghouls, which they're right.
Do you think there's a connection with these schlubs and the person that was on the camera? That wasn't on the camera?
Well, there's got to be. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure if they're the same
Well, if they're
type of
hunters,
people or what.
it wouldn't be a La Sombra, so they must have some kind of ability to
Avoid cameras.
well, in mind control. I've never
Yeah.
heard of hunters having mind control.
I mean, this is I've heard rumors of these dudes over the years, but it's tough nailing down what they do, where they come from. Apparently, from what Sophie managed to get out of that one dude's mind, Pete 910, she was saying that he just suddenly got those powers in the middle of him being forced to watch his family get tortured to death. He just got them. And then he used that to kill off all the Sabbat there by himself. I mean, be great if they were on our side, but we've tried that before. That ain't happening. And I'm not willing to try again.
Okay, so if it's the same type of situation and the same type of bad guys, how would we go into it differently?
We don't let them know we're coming. We rush in. And I just start wailing on them until they stop moving.
But we gotta make sure that the doors are not rigged with explosives.
Yeah, hey, can your Vinny or whoever it is, can they find out if they see any bombs or weird wires or anything connected to doors, windows, anything in that place?
So Ricky, on hearing that, you hear a conversation on their end, and then you hear a voice that's not Ricky's, probably the other one. Turn around and say, "Yeah, just give me a few. I'll go take a look."
Be careful.
So they hang up temporarily, so they're not like hanging around on the phone.
It's kind of nice to have these fellas on my team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you end up getting a call back. And this is not Ricky. This is actually Tommy. And Tom,
Speaker.
yeah. So it's hey, Auntie Trudy, Tommy here. Yeah, I'm seeing some what looks like some connections to door frames and windows. It looks like this place is wired.
Is that something you have experience with dismantling?
Yeah, but I don't have the access to do it. That's the problem. That and time.
Meaning you'd have to be inside the building?
Probably, yeah, or at least under it. And I don't know if we'll have the time to disarm enough, because it looks like it's more than one.
Hmm. All right, team, what do you want to do?
Yeah, Ben, what do you want to do? It's your call.
We could swat him.
Well, that's an idea I never would have thought of.
Shoot him through the windows?
An awful large splash-water.
No.
Swatting. In other words, contacting the police and telling them something dangerous is happening, where a SWAT team would be called out on the location. They're literally breaking a law. They've kidnapped a person, and there's evidence. They're keeping her there, and they're wiring that place to blow. Pretty sure those explosives aren't legal.
We'll call Detective Rumbus
Well, that is a very interesting idea.
Then the SWAT team does our work for us, and she gets out.
and they get
I
exposed.
like this idea a lot.
Call Detective Rumbus and get him on it.
I like it a lot.
All right. So he goes ahead and he places a call to the detective, and he makes sure that he's on speaker.
Okay.
And Trudy will tell Tommy to have him stand by until she calls him back.
Okay. So he picks up. Benjamin, how can I help?
Detective, I got some actual police work that needing help with here. Might need a SWAT team. Here's the situation. I know this woman, Shannon. She's been kidnapped. We know for certain that she's being held in the basement of a particular house, and I've got their address. There's 3 people inside. Looks like they've wired the house with explosives. We don't know what exactly their demands are, but we're pretty sure they've taken her against her will, and they've beaten her. So we need some police help to go there and see what we can do about these folks. They're clearly criminals.
Perfect.
All right. Well, if you are going to do this without getting it traced, you need to look up online how to send that text message in, so that way it is not traced back to you.
Right.
Otherwise, if I do it, then they're going to ask me where I got my connection from.
Got it. Okay. Do you have any suggestions when I'm doing this? It's been a while since I've called something in directly to the department.
I don't specifically.
Need a burner phone.
Burner phone.
It's not something that I have access to at this point in time.
All right.
You need a burner phone. I'm sure there's some at the office.
That's a good point. Okay. Hey, and have you, since I've got you, then do you have any, I know, just recently asked you, but any info on that other victim?
No, I'm still trying to get that. It's currently in the federal's hands, so they're being very tight-lipped about it.
Got it. All
Could
right.
the tip come in from Pantheon? It could have been a case that we were working on.
If we kept it anonymous, I mean, that would just make sure that we're completely covered. Yeah, I'm liking the detective's idea here.
Okay. Well,
All right.
let's go get the burner phone.
Appreciate it. Keep up the good work, pal.
Of course. Let me know if I can be of any additional assistance.
Will do. Hangs up.
Okay.
All right. Need the burner phone. We'll make that contact. I'll let...
We might want to get some and keep some here at the house too.
That's true. I'll see what Jay can accomplish over at Pantheon. See if he's got a few.
Maybe he can make the call.
Well, let's take a look here. He goes ahead and he calls Jay, the office manager at Pantheon
Okay.
Investigations.
Jay Ricada.
Yep.
Okay, so he picks up. You can hear some video game sound effects in the background.
Uh-huh.
Hey, boss, what's going on?
Didn't think I'd notice. You're playing on the job, huh?
Yeah, it's Galaga.
Yeah. That's fine. I'd probably be doing the same thing if I was in your shoes. That's got to be boring as hell. But, yeah, so, couple of things. One, do we happen to have, like, at least one, if not a small stash of extra phones, maybe burner phones to use?
We don't, but Miss Cummings, I should say, might. We don't
Okay.
have any on hand. Why do we need a burner phone?
Okay, so here's the situation. I've got a person I know named Shannon. We know for a fact that she's been kidnapped. She's being held in a basement. We even have the address of the place. Problem is, the place is wired to blow if anyone goes in without the owner's say-so. And there's 3 schlubs in there that they could be powerful, if you catch my drift, but in a weird way that we can't predict. We don't know a ton about them. So my thought is, first, because we know they're committing a crime, we SWAT them. We contact the local PD and have them send some folks out there with lots of guns and trucks and all that. But
okay.
want to do that, like, anonymously. I don't know if you've ever done anything like that before, but the thought was do that through a burner phone.
Oh, well, if you do that through a burner phone, they can ping where that came from.
Okay, so then do that somewhere that's not where we live.
Well,
I guess
the kids who are doing the swatting, there are websites that you can go to that you can put in text messages, and it will give you a random fake number. That's one of the reasons why it's such a problem.
Gotcha.
Because the
Is that
cops,
something?
the cops
is that
can't
something?
really trace it.
Is that something you can do for us?
Yeah, could you accomplish that, or I guess I could try to...
You're asking me to break the law?
No. Okay, no, you've got a good point. Yeah, no, I can go ahead.
I could do it. I don't think that they're going to trace it back here because it's random and whatnot online. But
if you're feeling wrong about it, I'm not going to make you do it. I can take a look at that and figure it out.
I'm just worried about the company, boss. I don't want it on. We run into somebody who has some crazy hacking skills or something, and they managed to figure out it was us.
That makes sense. Maybe I'll double up the security, get a burner phone, and then go somewhere and use the phone to access the site. Just make absolutely sure we got all our bases covered. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll see if I can get something from Xandria. Appreciate it, Jay. Hope you get a high score.
Working on it.
I wonder if we were to use the phone close to the address.
Maybe. I mean, I'm just trying to get this done as quick as we can. Yeah, let me see if I can get Xandria on the line.
No,
So he goes ahead.
If that's the case, you've already got people on site.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't know if
What
they
if?
burners, but
Why don't we find out if they're able to do that? That way, if it is ever traced, it's traced back to that address, to that area.
So Ben looks at Trudy. You think your folks can do that from where they're at then?
so what is the caveat about? I don't really follow how this whole phone tracing thing works.
So they might be able to figure out where that cell phone is when they make the call. They got their technology that just lets them do that, I guess, if you're on
They're
the
able
phone.
to trace.
Yeah.
Play your cards right. You live to talk about it.
And that would be bad because, I mean, it's a legitimate.
If we do it from a place where we're at, then that might make them want to send people by or try to connect some dots. You know, we don't want to be doing this stuff
Right.
from where we're at. So if they do that from near the house where they're at, that might make it,
More legitimate.
yeah,
What
at
was
least
the,
away from us.
what was the text message thing you were talking about?
There's apparently a site you can go to online. If you shoot the text through it, it makes it where it's coming from a number that is not your actual number.
But that could also be traced back to the location.
Possibly.
So, but if we give Ricky and Tommy that website and tell them to use that, then they wouldn't need a burner phone?
Possibly. They might even know what we're talking about. I mean, it's, you know, it could be right up their alley for all we know.
I will go ahead and call them back.
Okay. So you went. So yeah, you pick up the phone and it's Ricky again. Yeah, we're still here, Aunt Trudy. What's going on?
All right, so the plan right now is to SWAT them with the police because the police are more able to handle that sort of trap more than the rest of us.
So you hear Ricky relaying that out, and then you hear Vinny say, "What? You mean we can just call the SWAT in and they do our business?" And he says, "Yeah, boss, that's basically what happened." What kind of rube goes for that sort of thing? Are you? And then you hear Tommy go like, "Kids do it all the time. They're like doing it to get other people in trouble." And he's like, "Are you for real?" He says, "No, you can look it up. It's like he's like, wait a minute, is it on that YouTube thing you've been watching?" And he says, "Oh yeah, no, boss. People complain about that all the time." And he says, "Are you for real? we can get the cops to come down here and just solve all this just by kicking in a door and saying freeze." And he's like, "Yeah, boss. I mean, it's like pretty simple." And he's like, "Well, that just takes all the fun out of it." And he says, then you hear Rick again, I think boss is on board.
Well, I know it's a little less hands-on than you typically prefer, but
and you hear like in the background, he's like, "Hands-on? Well, this is just damn depressing."
So
well, we don't want you to get blown up, though.
This is true. First of all, I don't suppose either of you have a burner phone that you could make the call from.
And so Ricky's like, "Oh yeah, no, we've got that, and we wouldn't be making a call. It's like a website thing. You go to a website, put your information to the website, and it goes."
You already know how to do it.
And yeah, you hear Vinny in the background say, "You already know how to do it," and then there's this long, uncomfortable pause. Yeah, no, we got you covered, Auntie Trudy.
Well, would you mind placing that call for us, dear?
Oh no, not at all. You want us to give you a call when fireworks start?
Yes, please.
Okay, sure thing.
Stay out of sight now.
I'm just like, yeah, no problem.
Thanks, boys.
They hang up.
Kids these days, am I right?
And while you're waiting on that, Damaris, you get a message.
Cool. From who?
Your ghoul. So she just she sends you a text message, and asking where did we get the backyard decoration, and then takes a picture, and it's somebody nailed to a cross.
Oh Jesus! Do I recognize who it is?
At Anzio's?
It looks like the atypical picture. Basically, you could pass for Obi-Wan on the cross.
Oh no.
Where is this at?
And then she just texts again. This is the house.
Oh, the house.
She's like,
Great.
did we try to anger the Christians, boss?
No. Fuck. Oh, great. No, I don't. Oh, God. Okay. So I'm gonna show the picture to them. This is in my yard at my haven.
Well, that's a little macabre for you.
That's
Oh,
not my decoration.
Is that Bastion's doing?
I don't know. It's a cross, so I'm guessing it might also be
I mean,
others.
he
I
knows
don't think
where
they
you
put a cross
live.
there.
You don't
Yeah.
have like any of that protection on your house or haven or
I
anything
do
yet?
now.
Hmm.
Does it extend to your yard?
Well, the
No.
perimeter, but no, not the yard specifically.
is there an
Okay.
actual person on it?
Yes, which needs to be hidden like now.
Well, can your ghouls take it down now?
I've only got one ghoul at my house right now, so no, probably not. I need to go deal with this.
You know what?
Do you
I'll
need?
I'll come with. I mean, you're gonna need somebody to take a look and see if there's clues as to who did that, and if we've got SWAT on this, I mean, we don't need to be here at the haven. Is it okay if I come along with?
Yeah,
Yeah, might as
I'll
well.
come
Fuck,
al-
everybody else knows where my haven is at this point.
Well,
Guess I'm gonna have to go.
I would like to go too because I have the ability to see things sometimes,
Okay.
Okay.
and I've been there.
Suppose I'll come along since you'll want to keep abreast of the SWAT operation.
Sure, everybody
Right.
come.
Excellent.
Everybody else knows where they're at.
House party.
Another road trip.
That's not like the primary.
Actually, you guys have been there before. Never mind. When you guys were searching for.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Yeah, because Abby, or
Dahlia.
yeah, Dahlia took Ben and Lily
yep.
out there.
Yep.
So everybody then
All right.
packs up and leaves from the group haven.
Yep.
At this point, driving back across town through the night sky of Ashland, across the main streets, and then over to Damaris's place, which is on the west side of town. West side. It's a nice hiccupy neighborhood. I kid.
You're cute.
Everybody has those
cute.
problems at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a nice neighborhood. It's still, I mean, there's some street lights, but it's pretty dark and quiet. There's nothing really abnormal going on. Nobody's screaming or anything of that nature. It's just faint sound of the city, beyond.
Well, at least it's not on fire.
Yep, there's a silver lining.
Yeah. Silver lining. Okay, let's go take a look.
Let's get this poor man or woman down.
Is he wearing clothing?
He has a loincloth and a crown of thorns.
Okay, so he's probably
That's not symbolic at all.
He
So I went
probably
completely
doesn't have
sacrilegious.
ID.
Well, there's only one place to really hide that, and that would be cruel and unusual punishment at that point.
I mean, is he dead or is he alive?
He is dead.
So then, looking if there's any markings anywhere on the cross, any writing or anything like that.
No, nothing like that. Just some rickety beams that were, put together. Looks like they may have been railroad ties at some point in time. They've got that like rough, been weathered texture sort of thing.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have that.
but
So
he
it's
was
not-
he was nailed up there
Just-
with like iron nails, spikes driven through the hand and feet.
Okay.
does it look like the blood was like the nailing was done after he had died, or is there a large amount of blood that's come out of the nail holes?
Great question. There is some blood on the or in the backyard once you guys go around back. But there isn't like a gigantic pool, so it's clear this probably happened someplace else and it was just set up.
But he hasn't been drained.
Um,
Pretty close to it, given the fact that he's been up
Oh,
here a while.
great.
Yeah. Yeah.
is there like a trail? Could I do heightened senses and like use smell to find a trail of blood
Sure.
from like where it came?
Checking for the scent of blood.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is perception and awareness,
Okay.
I think.
Let me take a look. Do. That's our perception. Heightened senses. Perception and alertness.
Awareness. Oh, that's even better. Difficulty,
6.
1 success.
Okay, so as you guys are kind of hanging around and poking at the crime scene, trying to figure stuff out, Trudy puts on her pro sniffer and starts kind of looking around and sniffing for the scent of blood outside of the cross area. And it looks like it was probably brought in from the street.
From the street?
Yes. So somebody basically pulled up, parked, brought this up, and set it up.
So would since I've got like a security system, would I have cameras that would point out towards the street that I could check?
You know what? Let's odd or even it.
Ooh, I'm gonna do even.
Even. Let's take a look. Okay, you do.
Cool. So I'm gonna go and check my cameras.
Okay. So you go into your security room and you hear, it's about time somebody shows up.
Oh, hey, Talus. Sorry, man. We've been busy.
Clearly, some young man hung a dead body in the backyard.
Oh, good. You saw it. What did they look like?
So the pages flap. I lack eyes.
Then
I
how
want to
did
do.
it know that it was a young man?
Well, we're having to wait on Rachel. She's having some connection issues.
I want to do aura perception on the cross and stuff.
Go ahead.
I rolled a. I got. Yeah. No.
Okay.
Fail. I got 2 1s, but 1 success.
Okay, so it's
But
failure,
it's
but not a
gone.
botch.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't a botch.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
Those get explosive.
Oh, and what I was going to point out too, Brittany, is that it's not a trail of blood. It's like little droplets every so often on the ground.
Right, but that's still a trail.
Well, I'm for visually speaking, I'm not. I don't want you thinking it's like somebody spraying the ground. There's like a drizzle streak.
Yeah, that's what I expected.
Okay.
So my stuff froze and I had to get out and go back in. I missed the part after if you didn't see it, and I missed that response.
You still have a really bad connection right now, Rachel. You're breaking up for us. You may need to restart. I don't know.
Oh.
She dropped off again.
I just want to know how the book was able to know that it was a young man.
I know, huh?
Book knows a lot of things.
The book is one of those omniscient characters that just knows things, and when people need to know stuff, then the book knows it. Like Dumbledore or Hermione in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
A plot device.
Mm-hmm. 100%. It's also what we call lazy writing. Talking about J.K. Rowling, not you.
Thank you, Vancouver by Night, for the raid of 15. Yay!
Hey!
Right
What's
as we're
up?
having to wait for somebody to show back up because
Can I
internet
just say,
connections. But
this has been a really riveting game, despite having like no immediate business.
Yeah.
For not
Yeah.
having any business, we've had some business.
There's always business.
Well, for the love, bloody Colin. And Trish has never even met Colin.
Oh boy.
You haven't seen the abs.
No, she knows who he is.
When you see
She's
the
never
abs,
met him.
you'll understand why Roxy wants them back.
Yeah.
Is that any better?
She's not wrong.
sounds like it. So so you froze and you missed what exactly?
Well, Telly said he saw a boy bring in a man and put him on a cross. So if he has no eyes, how did he see that?
That's a great question. So as you pose that question to him, well, he announced himself.
What?
I don't think that's true.
So you think I am lying? Why would I lie about such a thing?
Well, how did you see him then? You didn't. I don't think he. Anyway, I'm gonna check the cameras.
Sure. So you check
Talus.
the cameras. You see a pretty nondescript van pull up at one point in time during the evening. It was actually shortly after you left for tonight. And they pull out something that was, pretty big and tarped, and they're kind of like slinging it over their shoulder. And when the person gets into the back and finishes like nailing everything off and throws the tarp out, I mean, you can hear. You don't have great cameras You don't have great microphones on your camera, but you can hear whoever it is that's out in the back yelling something.
Can I try to listen in a little bit closer, rewind it, see if I can make it out?
Did he say praise Cain?
You did actually. You can make out what sounds to be like a praise Cain sort of comment, and you hear something to the effect of like, "Tell them something," and you can hear. Right. So I mean, he's telling the truth. Somebody nailed this up and then yelled with the assumption that somebody on the inside was going to relay this to you.
Okay. So if we think they said praise Cain.
You've heard that enough that's at least something you can pinpoint.
So did Talus hear everything?
Apparently they were yelling praise Cain. So yeah, it was likely Sabat.
Bastion.
Oh, I need to get a New Haven.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, if you do such a thing, please bring my collection of audiobooks.
Of course.
And then we need to make your place unfindable.
Well,
do you have that ritual, or do I need to teach it to you?
Which one? Corporal Passage, or no, that's not that one.
It's the one that makes your haven where they can't find it. It's either dedicate the chantry, I think.
No, I don't think I have that.
Okay.
And
then
Damaris, you end up hearing, Damaris, do I smell Tremere?
I look over at
Hello, Talus.
Persephone.
This
is Persephone.
Defiles our doorstep. Kick it out.
Yeah, well, this Tremere is going to make sure you're not found and burned.
Nonsense! Tremere are completely untrustworthy. The whole pyramid scheme just was a...
I'm not in the pyramid scheme.
Lies. The Tremere are always in the pyramid scheme.
Not this one. That's
Don't let him
Camarilla.
get to you.
I've heard of this. She's attempting to do a Jedi mind trick on you. Deny her the privilege.
We
Don't worry, I
will.
think I'm okay.
You and I will work on learning that so that you can cast it on your new place.
I'm gonna
Do
miss
not
this
let
place,
this state
but
corrupt you.
No, that's
Alice,
the
be
Sedite.
quiet.
The home reeks of Tremere.
Hey, Talus. That's the book's name. Yeah,
Yes.
Talus. Did you hear exactly what the guys said who were in the backyard earlier?
Of course, he projected his voice.
What did he say?
He said he was a young man pinning up a cross. He yelled, "Praise Cain." I took him to be a good Cainite.
It's not what that means, Talus. Just
That is exactly what that means.
no.
Do not debate this with me.
That's bad. That's very bad.
I would expect such from a Tremere.
Uh,
Usurper!
You know,
Slant to read.
Great Breach is going to get her into trouble, right?
Light her, light him, you know.
What?
Mr. Talus.
Now, who is this with the country accent addressing me?
Trudy.
I don't know a Trudy.
Now you do.
Trudy
Praise Cain is
Maxwell,
never offensive.
Ventru. Look, Mr. Talus, this is.
Oh, a blue blood.
Can you tell us anything else that you perceived from this visitor?
I have sensed him before.
Really?
When?
Was it the same one who took Damaris?
Yes, of course. And of course,
Bastion.
I have sensed him before in Arizona, prior to my shuffling the mortal coil to you.
So it was this Bastion fellow.
Oh, this is like the manger scene?
Yeah, that's his MO.
That's
it
what I
seems
was
like.
kind of thinking.
Oh, great.
That's why I asked if it was Bastion when we first saw it. So yeah, we need to get you all out of here. Maybe we should take Talos with us.
Well, yeah, he's gonna come with at this point. I don't. I'm gonna have to shop.
That's okay. Well, we can go shopping together because I have to find us a place too. Because the communal is. I need a more secure
Maybe I should just
location
go live on
myself.
the mountain area that I restored.
Or maybe
go
we
stay
should
there.
go find and kill Bastion.
Yeah, I would like to.
I'm wondering.
That's an idea.
I'm wondering who was behind the second
I was like, good luck.
drained body as well. Do we know?
What's up, Miss Trudy?
Do we know if the second drained body was in some sort of religious iconography?
Well, that was my first thought. I thought maybe it was the Sabbat taking advantage of my mistake.
Right.
My gun on the inside.
Oh, that was you? Absolutely pathetic.
He doesn't have a lot of info, unfortunately, because the feds have some of that info locked down.
That's right. Well, regrettable. That would help us to know whether it's just the one foe that we're dealing with or if there's someone new.
Ben, maybe you should get the body down before somebody sees it. And do
Please.
I wasn't able to see anything, but try to do an aura perception on it, on the body.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
See
I don't
if there's
think
something we've missed.
Well, I don't think it works on deceased persons, but it may pick up on if there's anything on him that has magical qualities or something like that.
That's kind of because usually there's a message.
Oh.
But he gave the message verbally, so he didn't have to write it down. That's why he said it. He knew there's something inside because he's been here before and he knows. Talus, when he was here before, did you say anything when Damaris was taken? Like, did you make yourself and your presence known when Bastion was here?
Of course, I said hello.
Yeah, so he knew something or someone was in here already, and that's why he did it. This guy likes mocking Christianity. That's his thing. That's a typical serial killer thing. They have a theme and they keep going with it. But this is
Yep.
just a message. He's still out there, and he knows where you're at, and he knows you're still here. You can't stay here.
No.
I say literally don't even stay here anymore. Like, when you leave right now, you leave forever, and you have other people come in and take your stuff out.
Well, we've got a number of us here now. We might as well help you take what you need.
Yeah.
Do you think he might be watching though?
Rachel,
Why
you're
don't
muted.
you
I'm
need
sorry,
to
I was
grab
muted. It's like, I don't have a place to go right now. Where do you suggest I stay?
You can
We
stay
got a
at my
couch
place
at the
if you need
Haven.
to.
Poppycock,
we
you will
need
stay
to
with Kyrene.
Actually, that's a good idea.
Of course, I came up with it.
you need to make sure that all your books and scrolls and stuff are out of here.
Yes, I will. I'll get those now.
Do you need help?
What about Dahlia though?
Doesn't Dahlia
Isn't
live
she
here
living
too?
you?
Dahlia needs to come with.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to send her a message. She's
Yeah.
probably out with the boyfriend.
Hopefully.
Oh, yes, the boyfriend. Owner of a
fact-
Mexican restaurant. Fun.
Call her right now, because
Yeah.
Bastion knows who she is too.
Yeah. So she'll call Dahlia,
Okay.
basically say, "Hey, going to Kyrene." Well, I'm gonna call Kyrene too and let her know.
Well, you
Gonna
can,
stay.
you can post that in your little Facebook chat.
Okay. Yeah, I will then.
Just do it that way. I'm
Yeah.
sure she'll respond pretty quick.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll put that in there in a little bit, and then I will call Kyrene and basically explain the deal too, that she'd be willing to let me stay there until I find a new haven.
Okay. And so we'll deal with that off
Yeah.
game at that point. So, you just before we wrap for today, you end up getting a text message back from Ricky.
Oh yeah.
While you guys were dealing with this, and it's like an LOL, and he took a picture, and you can see that like, you know, police cars and the SWAT have shown up. Like, they've got like 15 people out here combing the house.
She'll call.
Okay. And he says, "Hey, Auntie Trudy, just thought I'd take a picture of the party."
So, what's happening right now?
Well, they got her out, and they're apparently got the bomb squad here too.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. What about the schlubs?
They're, I think, being taken into custody.
Find out where they're taking Shannon so that we can retrieve her.
Oh, we have it in the back seat, ma'am.
Oh, you
Yes.
have her.
That's
Yes.
what they're calling her.
We didn't want to get too close. We don't want the bad wooge rubbing off on us, but yeah, we got her. We did some mental magic on the officers who were going to take her away and convinced her that she should come with us.
You can do mental magic?
Yeah, same kind that you can. Probably not as good, but
Oh, like dominate. Right. All right. Would you kindly bring Shannon over to the Pantheon Investigations? We'll hand her over to Mr. Benjamin.
right away, Auntie. We'll probably be there in about 20.
Great. Thank you so much.
Ben, that was quite genius. Quite proud of you, honey.
Thanks.
She
Once in a
will.
while, I do something right, you know?
She will show the photo to everyone.
Nice.
I hope I get to meet those schlubs at the station. Just have a nice
Yeah.
conversation where there's no bombs going off. That'd be nice.
It'd be very nice.
So
All right.
this is where we're going to end for today. And before we continue, we need to do XP real quick.
Oh,
This
yes.
is technically the first game of the month.
Do we do birthday again? Birthday?
Yeah.
Yes, we would.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wait, is that a D? That's a D10, right? For
Nope.
birthday? Oh, D6, right?
Yep. D4 for the month, D6 for the
Okay.
Yeah,
for
I'm
the
with Katie. 5,000 XP. For,
I don't know if you guys can see
It's
that.
over 9,000.
yeah, I got one of
Can't see
those.
it from there.
Cool. So that's
Oh, 6. Okay.
So that's 7 for that. Roll the D4.
Oh, I don't have a D4 out. Go ahead.
I got one.
Okay.
Go ahead and do it. Bam. Rolled a 2, so that's plus 1 for the month. Is that right?
3. Oh, yeah. Do D4 plus 1.
Cool. All right, so that's 3 on that.
So
So
that's
3.
10 total XP.
Awesome.
Sweet.
So there you go. So just as an FYI, our next game is going to be Ashland by Night next Friday, which will be the 23rd. So looking forward to that. Obviously, we'll be picking up on some other things happening in the city beyond this, I'm sure. And then on Saturday the 24th, or sorry, that's going to be at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And on Saturday the 24th at 6 p.m. we have our Marvel Superheroes game we're going to be playing. So that'll be fun. And we're actually adding somebody to the roster. So it'll be interesting to see how everything plays out there and how everybody takes to the new characters. So excited about that. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Thank you again for the raid. And we will catch you guys all next time. Thanks again. Boop. There we go.
SWAT.